Alright, well, welcome once again to Pennsylvania. And today we are at Wolf's Hollow County Park here in Chester County, Pennsylvania. Not too far from Lancaster County. This place was recommended to me by a couple of people. I saw it myself on the map, so we're gonna check it out today. It's a beautiful Saturday morning here. Temperatures in the 60s. Today is September 19th, I believe. Quite a few people here though, but wouldn't expect less on a beautiful day like this. Okay, so just down from the parking lot, you have the ruins of a dam out back this way, so you know we're gonna get a closer look at this. I think there's some ruins up that way as well. I think there's a number of ruins out in this park, which we'll enjoy looking at. So we'll get back and check out the ruins of that dam in just a moment. But I think by looking at the map, there's some of the ruins up here, the ruins of a boathouse. Yeah, I'm not sure how long I'm going to spend here today, but there's a lot of trails here. I think some of the other ruins are on the, what's called the charcoal trail, but we got quite a bit of walking to get there. But it is an absolutely beautiful day. Like I said, it's supposed to only get up to 64 today. So it's starting to feel a lot like fall. This is the kind of weather I love. So I'm guessing that this up here is what they're talking about. The only other ruins I see up here. There's some stonework in the shade there. Let's get up here. Yeah, here you can see there's some stonework up here. Kind of extends all the way up there. So I guess this was the boathouse. Oh, there's some old piping in there and stuff. Down in there. Yeah, so here's a look at it from the inside. You can see all the stonework. Because I love looking at old stonework. And out here would have been the lake. All this out here would have been underwater, especially where that tall grass is. So we're gonna go ahead and walk back up to where the dam was, back up that way. Take a closer look at that before we start actually getting on some of the trails. Yeah, so here's a closer look at the actual dam. So let's walk down there. Beautiful old stonework. It's a neat little, I guess also what you call buttresses, holding it up. And it is taller than I am. Looks like about 10 feet tall. Let's go ahead and walk all the way down to the end there. Yeah, it's just beautiful old stuff. They don't make it like this anymore, as they say. You're just walking along more. There are places where it's quite damaged. All the rock here has fallen out and the earth behind it is coming out as well. Some of these sections have seen better days. Up here is where the creek actually flows through. Well, there you go. We have a waterfall. So that'll be it for these ruins. Actually wasn't really sure if I was going to check out these ruins or not. I vaguely remember seeing them on the map last night, but there's some other ruins out further that, like I said, I want to check out. So we're going to start out on what's called the Forest Loop Trail, and then hopefully hit the Octorora Ridge Trail, and then get to the Charcoal Trail. And things look well signed on the trails, at least here they do. They tell you the names of the trails and the direction they go. So that'll be helpful, because we don't actually have a map in hand. I did take a picture of my phone. Anyway, let's quit blapping and get on with the hike. Actually, I gotta find a place to sit and eat lunch as well. Didn't really eat breakfast either, but anyway, let's get going. Yeah, so things are very well marked here. Nice signage. Forest Loop Trail and the Octorora Ridge Trail. Alright. Absolutely beautiful day for a hike. A lot of people here, but maybe we'll see some critters anyway. Yeah, so recently I was at a section of old growth forest, Bear Run natural area, and I showed you some of the old growth trees that weren't necessarily super huge, but you could look at the bark and tell that they're, I think you used the word gnarly looking, the bark. And there was a tulip poplar tree that I showed there. That was an old growth one. But here's another tulip poplar, and it's a decently sized tree. The bark is nowhere near as thick like the ridges as that one I showed you at Bear Run. So there is a difference just by looking at the bark sometimes. The tree doesn't necessarily have to be super huge to be an old growth tree. That one's a much younger one, even though it's big, compared to the one I saw there, just by how thick those bark ridges are. Just want to point that out. So yeah, I've hardly even started hiking. I'm really loving this place, actually. Walk down to the creek here. Yeah, there's some fencing up here. Guessing part of this used to be a pasture sometime in the past. Now it's reverted back to forest. You can see some of the wiring, the high tension wire still on that post. Just taking some time to look for some artifacts, maybe some arrowheads. It's interesting here, these rocks have a bit of a sparkle to them. Not sure if that's showing up on camera a little bit, but we're getting into an area of Pennsylvania where the rocks have what's called a mica schist in them. Not sure, it's get a little bit of sparkle there. Alright, let's get back to the main trail. No arrowheads down here. Alright, so it's quiz time. This is a bush we just talked about recently in one of my videos. It has these red berries on it. Down here. Let's see if you remember what these are. This is a spice bush plant, or bush. I think we were at Gifford Pinchot State Park when we talked about them. Alright. Yeah, so once again, everything is clearly marked here. We're still on this Forest Loop Trail. Kind of curious to see where that goes, but it's not a named trail. Anyway, we're going to head uphill now to the top of the ridge, and up the top we'll join the Octorora Ridge Trail. So we'll leave the beautiful stream behind and head uphill. Yeah, and not too much of an uphill, not too bad. And right here is the Octorora Ridge Trail. So we're gonna hook a left. Continue on this for quite a while, I believe. You may hear some noise in the background, there's a shooting range nearby, which we'll have to deal with. Don't hear anything at the moment, but it is what it is. You have gunshots and chainsaw. Because the chainsaw isn't running right now, but oh, there it is. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but we are in a very populated area, I should say, here in Chester County. It's not a wilderness area, so we're in this like hollow, wooded area, but all around us is more, you know, not wilderness area. So there's a lot of that extra noise going to come in. So they do have plenty of places along the trail here to stop and have a bite to eat, picnic tables. But I'm looking for that perfect spot. As one viewer made a comment, you know, hikers, we starve ourselves looking for that perfect place. But I am planning on eating lunch down by where that other set of ruins is. There's supposed to be some stone walls and stuff down there. So I think I'm gonna wait to eat there. I'm getting hungry, but I think we'll make it. Yeah, so the parking lot was full of people out here on the trail. I haven't really met too many people, because there are some nice picnic areas out by the parking lot, so I think that's what a lot of people are doing. I've seen a handful of people out here. Alright, so the Octorara Ridge Trail continues on that way, but this is the start of the charcoal trail, which should take us down to those ruins. This is much more of like a trail too. So we've been kind of walking on like an old road. Alright, this trail is taking us down to another creek. I believe this creek is the Octorara Creek, which flows kind of on the border between Lancaster and Chester counties. Not always, but in that area. So if these ruins are right up here somewhere, we'll get to eat by the ruins and by the creek. There are some critters out here. I was seeing quite a few robins earlier, but then, you know, some other people showed up and scared them away, but that's the way it goes on these trails. And there was a great blue heron down here somewhere earlier I saw fly off, so maybe we'll get a few on film. It's one thing to see wildlife too, it's another thing to get it on film. They don't always like to cooperate. Now let's find those ruins. Getting hungry. So there is kind of a stone wall here, just off trail, but I'm hoping this is not the one they're referring to. I mean, it's kind of cool looking, but It's looking for something a little bit more, I don't know, substantial maybe. We'll see what's up here. We have this beautiful little side stream. That stone wall back there may have been the ruins we were looking for. Like I said, I was hoping for something a little different. With some stone walls that was a little bit more like stacked stone, I guess. But we'll see. This trail isn't over yet. You know, having to film in between, you know, the episodes over there on the shooting range. It's a little frustrating, but, you know, you gotta deal with it sometimes. Yeah, here's some interesting mushrooms. They're growing on a maple tree. Some kind of a shelf fungus. I don't know what these are offhand. Pretty cool looking though. And up here's a closer view of the Octorara Creek. Yeah, this is the noise I'm trying not to film. Anyway. Yeah, I'm trying to keep that off camera, but I thought I'd let you listen to what, you know, is going on at times out here. So you can see how it can make your hike a little bit less enjoyable at times. But anyway, right up here's a stone wall. And right up there I see a much more substantial one, so I think this is the location. These walls are much nicer. Anyway, I'm gonna turn the camera off and wait till this activity goes away. Yes, this is definitely the location. I mean, there's stonework going up there, all the way back. And looks like right in the middle, there's actually some more substantial ruins. Yeah, check that out. A little bit of stacked stone. The map didn't really say what this was, but looks like a little house of some sort. Of course, there's another stone wall going all the way around it. Goes all the way down to the creek down there too. All right, I'm gonna take a few pictures and get back with you. Yeah, and as I was walking around the backside, taking some pictures, looky what's up here. This is the well, because it's filled in mostly, so it's not really much of a danger of falling in. You can see some of the stonework back there. So this is the spot I was waiting to eat lunch at. Spot some beautiful ruins. Of course we have our lunch down here. Got our peanut butter sandwich. There's some beef jerky in there somewhere. Got my apple. Some crackers. Alright, I'm gonna chow down and just relax here for a while. And just one last look at these ruins. Because right in there would be the house or whatever it is. And just kind of cool, there's a kind of like a stone wall that goes all the way back and around. Kind of wonder what was going on here. Like I said, the map didn't really say what this was. Beautiful spot though. Alright, we will continue on then though. We still have quite a ways to keep hiking. I'm actually probably close to being the furthest point away from where we parked, where the Jeep is. So we're going to continue on up the charcoal trail. I see some more stone walls up here. Then we got to go back up the ridge and hook up with some other trails. Take us back to where we started. Yeah, so I just came off trail a little bit to check out this other section of stone wall. And to kind of check out the creek. And let me pan you over slowly. And there was a special surprise waiting for me down here. Check that out. You got a mushroom bonanza going on here. Check it out, man. Well, yeah, Chris, you are checking it out because you're watching the video, but wow. Look at this. I don't think I've ever seen quite something like this. There's a dead oak tree right here. That's what they're all on top of. Man, these are pretty big. Let me put my hand up here. Pretty decent sized mushrooms. They do have gills. I'm wondering if these are the what they call jack-o'-lantern mushrooms. They're bright orange like this. That's what I'm thinking they are. But wow, that's quite a scene. Yeah, and if I didn't come off trail, I wouldn't have seen these here. Amazing. Alright, I'm going to take a few pictures. Alright, well I did pull off several here. I'll put them back then. They do have gills on them underneath. And the gills stop. Sometimes the gills run down the stem, but these stop, so that helps in identifying them. But I'm guessing they're jack-o'-lantern mushrooms, like I said. But I'll double check. Let's try to. I just placed those two right back in there. These are actually just the fruiting body, so as long as the mushroom cap is up, they'll still be able to release spores and you don't really do any damage to the mushroom. Alright, well, it's just beautiful. Alright, yep, okay, let's get going. Just scenes like that, you don't see something like that every day. Of course, if you know me, I love my mushrooms and stuff, so that's just, to me, that's really cool. I almost like that as much as the ruins up there. Alright, so the charcoal trail does turn right here, and we'll start heading up out of this little hollow. The trail does bring you out into some more open areas as well. Kind of beautiful out there. But we're going to be following what's called the fence line trail now. Got a sign for it. We're just on the charcoal trail. It's nice that they have a map for you here as well. We are right here. Let's see, those ruins we were at earlier are right there. That's where we ate lunch. Of course, we parked all the way down here. So I went up here, did this Octorora trail to the charcoal trail. Now we're coming back to here. So now we're going to take this, I guess, this fence line trail. I guess down to here. Anyway, something like that. We'll see. And the shooting starts up again. And I'm trying not to complain too much about the Second Amendment activity, we'll call it, back there. I am a supporter of the Second Amendment. I know somebody might be getting mad at me for complaining about that, but every now and then, situations like this does seem like it gets a little bit almost disrespectful. It just goes on all day long sometimes. And there's other people trying to enjoy the outdoors as well. It's just a thought sometimes. I have a neighbor that does that sometimes. Picks the most beautiful days when people are having, on the weekends when people are having family over and picnics, and he just all day long he shoots and shoots and shoots, you know. So it's just something to, you know, you have certain rights which are yours, but sometimes it's helpful to just be respectful of others when it comes to those rights. Just my thoughts, that's all they are. Check out this little guy down here. Some of you might recognize him if you're from southeastern Pennsylvania. That is the spotted lanternfly, an extremely invasive species that we're dealing with right now. They're causing a lot of damage. Alright. Yeah, this is what the trail's looking like for quite a while now. It's called the fence line trail for a reason. Because there's not actually a fence here, but kind of a nice change of scenery. Looking out just across a lot of fields. Some nice scenery out there. Little barns. Chilling by the pond for a little bit. Trying to figure out where I want to go from here. I think behind me will take me back to that forest loop trail, but I'm looking on the map. I think there's a trail that goes around the other side of the pond. I forget the name of that trail is, but it'll take me back to where I parked as well, so I don't know. I think I might try and go that way. Since we've already been on the forest loop trail, maybe we'll try a different trail. We'll see what happens. Alright. Beautiful place out here, though. A view of that homestead up there. Looks beautiful. And just as a side note, you may notice that sometimes the footage looks a little bit different than it has in the past. I've been, experimenting a little bit with different modes on my camera. Even today, I think I'm filming in 4K for the first time with this camera, so there's different settings with that. The 4K films at a different frames per second than anyway the other mode did, and sometimes you can adjust. I have it on manual, so you can adjust the iris and the shutter speed and different things like that. So I've been kind of messing around with that a little bit today, and then even in some previous videos, my previous road trip, I was filming in a different mode. So if things look a little bit different, that's why. Some of you may not notice, but some people are a little bit more camera savvy than others, and they notice little details like that. I'm just experimenting. That's what's going on. Seeing what works and what doesn't. Check out this building over here. Not sure exactly what this is. I believe I saw it on the map. But wow. Oh wow, they have, the windows are painted on. That's interesting. They look like nice little windows from a distance, but they're not. They're painted on. Let's back up a little bit. Neat old place though. Alright, let's walk up. I'll show you how everything's painted on. I'll try to find out what the name of this is later when I get back to a map. Yeah, everything's it's just paint. You can't actually see in. Alright. Beautiful stonework though. Did have electric at one time there. Alright. But yeah, that would be a beautiful place to live in. That's the kind of home I would love to own. Fix up and make it look nice again. Although it does look nice already, but I mean, yeah. Alright. And way up there is another neat looking place. But that's private property up there, but beautiful place. Alright, so I made it back to roughly to where we started. Down there is the old dam area that we started out at. Actually down more that way, so not too far from where we parked. Mr. Squirrel. So I am almost back where I parked, so I think I'll end this video here. Beautiful place to come visit. There are lots of trails here to hike. I definitely didn't hike all of them, but quite a few of them, but yeah. Wolf's Hollow. Spent maybe 4 hours here almost, but yeah. Just hiking and chilling out. Alright, gotta get home. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you.